Alright, hello world, this is nnirror. I'm a musician from the Midwest USA. I'm based in Madison, Wisconsin. And in this video, I'm going to be making a track from scratch in 30 minutes or less using my system. So that system is made of two main pieces. The first is the software, and that's something that I built in MaxMSP. The second piece is a modular synthesizer. So you can see both of those on the screen right now. If you want more information about the software, I have a separate video on YouTube where I go and walk through it in detail. The code is also open source, so you can check it out on my GitHub. There's some links in the bottom left, so feel free to check that out if you're interested. But basically the system is pretty much in its initial state right now. There's nothing in the software that's playing, and the modular is as empty as it ever gets. There's a few patch chords that are in it. I always keep those in. It's basically just to mix a few mixes together into a final stereo mix, which gets passed into a compressor, and then passed into a recording module, and then passed into a headphones out. Basically we're ready to get started. Typically I would just generate a rhythm or a melody or something just to get some ideas out there. So first I'll generate a rhythm and just kind of see what happens. So let's do it. I actually like that. Okay. Set that as 1. Okay. That's pattern 1. You can clear it and retrieve it. Okay. So what could I do with that, right? I think I could add more of that doom kick. So that's not this kick, it's this one. It's not that one either. Where is it? This one? Just trying to find that kick. Okay, it's this. So it's a few levels down. It's not the top one. It's do-do. So I'd want to add more maybe even one lower. Yeah. Maybe I want that there instead. Let's see how that sounds. So I'm going to set that, but then I'm going to actually permutate it a little bit and see what... I think I'll save that as 2 instead. Okay, so then for example, if I get 1, that's 1. Here's 2. So, they're somewhat related to each other. I think I'll add some to this one and see what we get. Okay, set that at 3. Let's add some more. It's a little busy. Remove some. Ooh. Okay, we'll save that as 4. Okay. Let's see if there's any of these that are interesting on their own, right? Maybe kick and snare. Yeah, like that. Okay, so then I could clear these. Maybe save that as 5. So this is just storing rhythmic patterns. It's not storing whether the channels are soloed or anything like that. I'm just kind of preparing a few rhythmic patterns. Okay. So maybe add some kicks to this for 6. Yeah. And then maybe some kind of skittery hi-hats here. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So let's save that as 6, but then I might want to kind of walk on that a little bit. Just like move it around a bit. See what happens here. Let's see. Kick and auxiliary. Maybe with hats too. Yeah, let's add some more. So increase the fill percentage and make this a little wackier. Okay. I don't know, it's just a little much. Alright, let's say that's 6. I forget, did I store one in 6 already? Let's see. Yeah, I did. Okay, good. Okay. Those are going to be the rhythms. So then, let's come up with a melody. I'm going to send this out to the modular, which would be on port 8. So there's a module here that receives MIDI. So what do I want to send this into? I think first I'll mult it so that I can maybe modulate it and bring it into 2 different places. So let's use one of them to control an oscillator that will go to this mod demix for frequency modulation. And for frequency modulation, let's send like the kick and the snare out on this send here. So the kick and the snare are going into this mod demix as well, and we should start to hear a frequency modulated mix when I plug this in. Okay, so then in order to change the DPO's pitch, let's see. So for example, right now I'm just going to turn all the other drums off so we only hear the mod demix, right? That's the only thing we're hearing. So find a melody in this MIDI that is modulating that. Sounds pretty good. But maybe I'll make it twice as long. The index is a little strong. I think I'll turn it down. There we go. Okay. Okay. Cool. I'm also going to send this through this freeze object, which is kind of like a stutter. Just mostly so I can rate limit it, or not rate limit, but kind of like bit crush it and slow the bit rate down. And then I'm going to send it through this low pass filter so that I can remove some of the harsh tones if I want to. I guess it's a low pass gate technically. Okay. So what happened there? This should be going in. This should be going in. That should be, there we go. Okay, so then one thing I will do then is to take a source from the system, change the rate limit, change not the rate limit, but the bit rate. So for that, let's try this LFO. Okay. And then instead of using just the straight LFO, I'll modulate the LFO's rate based on the subdivide here, and turn subdivide Markov model on so that it changes every 4 bars a fair amount, and it's kind of moving a little bit each time. I think I'll smooth the LFO output as well. It's just a little skittery. Yeah. Okay. I'm also going to take a copy of this before it gets into the mixer and send that back into the software. Alright, so I'll receive that here and send that into the reverb. Here we go. Ooh. I like that. So, I think this is getting pretty close to like a part. And it kicks on here. And maybe send the kicks out on this separate external channel just to beef it up a little bit. Nice. They're pretty deep. There's not much like transient that they're like maybe a little muddy sounding, but that's alright. Maybe I'll pitch them up a bit. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So maybe the last step before saving this state would be to change the pitch so that the pitch mod is kind of making this melody kind of different each time it runs through. So right now it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I want to make it 8 counts. So make this 8. Actually, I'll do this on the global instead. Okay. And maybe I'll have the mod go into here as well. So the global pitch mod happens in both. Yeah. Okay. Let's call that state 1. Alright, so oops, I didn't save the melody I didn't save the melody, so well, that's okay, it's lost. I'll save that, and now I'll do this. Close enough, right? Okay, that's state 1. Okay. So, I think like the structure, maybe we'll move from this to like I could see the ringing out from this reverb like turning into something that kind of blooms a little bit more. So I'll send that reverb out. And maybe just send it through I'm trying to think. Send it through the MIDI verb and just get it. No, I don't think I want to do that. I think I'll send it through this prism. other side though. It's a little like crushed sounding, so either I want to like lean into that. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. I kind of like that. So like in the same modulation that's going out on channel 1, I think I'll do that on the decimate here. So okay. Okay. I like that. So maybe from here, we'll move toward 2. Let's see, is this what state 1 is? Yeah, so what's 2? Yeah. Okay, so toward 2, and then save that as state 2. Okay. Maybe for state 3, I will start to fill every 2 and change nothing else. Or maybe I'll start to move towards 3 as well. That's state 3. Alright, so now I want to like maybe switch it up a little bit. I think maybe, let's see how it sounds just with the drums removed. Or with something like just more subdued. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So let's make a function here. Or, no, let's just use the subdivide. Okay. Maybe turn the probability... Actually, I think what I'll do is have probability lower on the kicks, but then have the speed faster than the clock. So that, like... it might play more than once when it plays. Not really sure about this. Let's see what some of the other rhythms sound like. Okay, let's call that 4. Now let's reduce the melody by an octave. Not really hearing much of an effect. Let's add a Markov model on the reverb here. Let's just really turn this down a bit. Less probability. Maybe have the snares always happen still. Mix them down a bit. Just looking for a kind of way out of this. Maybe I'll like slow it down to half speed. No. Oh, I like that. Unquantizing the LFO modulation. Okay. Let's take a shape of that. Every time the kick runs, it should generate a new master or mix. So let's turn those up. Let's do the same thing with the reverb here. Okay. Decimate is a little much. Okay. I think this will be kind of like the B. So like I have some A ideas, this is a B idea. Okay. So yeah, at this point I'm just gonna write like a script to move between A and B a couple times and then mess around with the knobs, and I think that's pretty much all the time I have. So if there are 5 presets, each I'm gonna move to 5 between all of them. So it'd be like 1, 1, 0 for 16. Let's see, it's 16th note, so 64 instead. Then 1, 5. Let's move to it over 16 counts. So like 1, 5, 0.5, 16, 1, 5, 0.75, 16, 1, 5, 1, 16. Then, from there, you would do the same thing but reversed and send it from 5 to 2. 5 to 2. Then from 2 to 5. Okay, then from 5 to 3. Whoops. Okay, then from 3 to 4, right? No, what am I doing? So I just went to 3, so then 3 would go... 5 moved to 3. I'm fully at 3. Now I want to move back to 5, right? That's right. Then from 5 to 4... 5, but I've already gone to 5 multiple times, so I think instead at this point I'll just say star star and start messing around, but change it every 4 instead and have it mixed between the two and just mess around for a while and see what happens. Okay, that's the track. So I will start this and let it run. I think hopefully that's less than 30 minutes. We'll see how it sounds. I'll let you know when it's back at 1. Okay, so this is recording and I'm going to call this the track. So it's moving between random states. Alright, we're back to 1. Alright, so I'm going to kill the script and just let this ride and jam for a bit. Here we go, we're getting there. Alright, that's it for me. Thanks for watching, and thank you to Umanesimo Artificiale for the opportunity to do this. I appreciate it, and cheers. Bye!